I discovered my husband's secret family when his business trip turned into a hospital emergency. Last month, my husband of 8 years left for what he said was a 3-day business trip to Chicago. We kissed goodbye at the door, and I went back to grading papers for my high school English class. At night, his phone went straight to voicemail when I called to say goodnight. I figured he was in meetings or his battery had died. No big deal until 2 a.m. when my phone rang with a number I didn't recognize. "Hello, is this Mrs. Wilson?" a woman's voice asked. "Yes," I replied, suddenly wide awake. "I am calling from Northwestern Memorial Hospital. Your husband has been admitted with severe chest pains. He's asking for you." My mind raced. Chicago was a 4-hour drive. Is he okay? What happened? He's stable now. It wasn't a heart attack, just severe anxiety, but he was quite distressed when he came in. I threw some clothes in a bag and started driving, calling his parents on the way to let them know. They sounded confused. They thought he was on a trip to Boston, not Chicago. I arrived at the hospital just after dawn. At the reception desk, I gave my name and asked for my husband, Michael Wilson. The nurse looked puzzled. "We don't have a Michael Wilson admitted?" "Oh," she interrupted, checking another screen. "We have a Mike Wilson, room 302. Relief washed over me. They must have just recorded his name differently. When I reached room 302, I heard voices inside. I pushed the door open to find my husband in a hospital bed, with a woman sitting beside him, holding his hand. A teenage boy stood by the window. "Who are you?" the woman asked. Before I could answer, my husband's face drained of color. "Rebecca," he whispered. "Not my name." The woman looked between us, confusion turning to understanding. "You are not Rebecca," she said slowly. "Who are you?" "His wife," she repeated. "That's not possible. I'm his wife. We've been married for 15 years. The boy by the window, who couldn't have been more than 14, stepped forward. "Dad," he said, his voice breaking. My husband closed his eyes, his heart monitor beating faster. That's how I discovered that my 8-year marriage was actually an elaborate double life. Michael Wilson in Ohio, Mike Wilson in Chicago. Business trips that perfectly aligned with his time with each family, 2 houses, 2 wives, 2 lives, just 250 miles apart. The other woman, Rebecca, and I ended up sitting in the hospital cafeteria for hours, comparing notes. Her son, my husband's son, sat silently beside her, occasionally showing us photos that confirmed everything. 15 years of marriage for her, 8 for me. No children on my side, thank God. We learned he had separate phones, separate bank accounts, even slightly different career stories for each of us. His consulting firm allowed for the perfect cover, constant travel, irregular hours, occasional financial strains. When he was discharged the next day, neither of us was there to pick him up. Instead, we were both at his Chicago apartment, the one I never knew existed, cocking up evidence for our respective divorce attorneys. I found their son's birth certificate in his desk. "Did you ever suspect?" she asked me. "Never," I admitted. "He was so attentive when he was home. Always called. Always remembered anniversaries." "Same," she said quietly. "He never missed a birthday. The divorce papers were filed last week. His parents have disowned him. Our friends are shocked. Meanwhile, he's been calling nonstop, begging for a chance to explain what he calls the impossible situation I created because I love too much. But he hears nothing to explain. The man I built my life around never existed. And the strangest part, Rebecca and I are actually becoming friends."